Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin. We're back at the movies for another review. We're going to be finishing off Heath Ledger week on the channel. And what better way to do it than with his greatest performance and what I would consider to be probably the greatest superhero movie of all time, The Dark Knight. Directed by Christopher Nolan. It came out in 2008. Heath Ledger, this was the movie. He won an Oscar for his portrayal of the Joker, and it is undoubtedly one of the most deserving Oscars ever given out by the Academy of Motion Pictures. He was phenomenal. The movie is incredible, and to me, it is the standard bearer for superhero movies. And whereas credit has to be given to the Marvel universe, there have been some fantastic movies out of the Marvel universe. The Dark Knight is the greatest superhero movie of all time. Such an amazing cast. You have Christian Bale coming back as Bruce Wayne / Batman. And I love Christian Bale as an actor, and I really enjoy his performance as Batman. However, I'm not a fan of his portrayal of Bruce Wayne. That's why I always will argue that he is not the greatest Batman of all time, because I feel in order to, be considered the greatest Batman of all time, you also have to make a convincing Bruce Wayne. And I just don't buy him as Bruce Wayne. That's why I think Michael Keaton will always be the standard bearer, is because he is an amazing Bruce Wayne and a damn good Batman. But that being said, you have Morgan Freeman coming back as Lucius Fox, Michael Caine coming back as Alfred Pennyworth. You have Gary Oldman coming back as Lieutenant and eventually Commissioner Gordon. Aaron Eckhart comes in and, is fantastic as Harvey Dent, and even better when he becomes Two-Face. And in a casting change, Bruce Wayne's love interest in Batman Begins is portrayed by Katie Holmes. They went with Maggie Gyllenhaal in this one, and I think it's a benefit to the overall movie. Katie Holmes was fine, but Maggie Gyllenhaal is a extraordinarily talented actress, and her character just interacts better, I think, with the two leads, Eckhart and Bale. Basically what the movie takes place a few months after Batman Begins. Batman is getting his feet wet, and the Joker has been ripping off Gotham's mob bosses and stealing their money and just causing chaos. And he even calls himself an agent of chaos throughout the course of the movie. Heath Ledger just steals every single scene he's in, and it culminates with a couple of showdowns with Batman and then with the mob bosses that he convinced to pay him to kill Batman, and then burns their money just because he doesn't need their money. It was never about stealing the money for him. It was about disrupting the established order of Gotham. Bad guys make money, Batman stops them. Well, I'm going to stop the bad guys and stop Batman. That was his whole agenda. Even people who mean well are, victims of his overall game. Both Rachel and Harvey Dent are kidnapped Batman has to choose, and he chooses. This is where it gets weird, because he tells Gordon, after interrogating the Joker, he's going to save Rachel, but he goes and saves Dent. Now, I've always found it hard. Like, did he deliberately go to try to save Harvey Dent? Or did the Joker give him false information? I don't know. It's always, seemed a little cloudy to me. But, he doesn't really, he succeeds, but at the same time he doesn't. And Gotham loses their North Star, in a sense, in Harvey Dent, who, with the loss of, his soon-to-be wife, he loses hope, and, now he just wants revenge on those who have wronged him. And it eventually culminates in the Joker threatening to kill thousands, if not millions of people if they don't bend to his will. And they don't. And that's, it makes for a fantastic showdown. And thankfully, they could have taken the cheap way out. When Heath Ledger passed away, the movie hadn't been released yet. They could have reshot an ending where they killed off the Joker's character, but Christopher Nolan, to his credit, kept the finale of the movie where the Joker does not die. Like, my biggest problem with the original Batman, as much as I love Michael Keaton and I loved Jack Nicholson's portrayal, they killed off his greatest villain. And I think that hurts the ending of that movie. This movie's ending is so much stronger because the Joker lives. So there's always going to have his legacy etched in the trilogy that is, Chris Nolan's Dark Knight saga. I'm glad that, his legacy really gets to live on through that character. It's a sinister character, but you can see the beauty in it, and you can see the passion he had and the dedication that he had. And, I think as a movie lover, and I think anybody who's seen the movie is better off for seeing somebody that talented have that great of a performance. And like I said, to me, it is the greatest superhero movie of all time. I could continue on. I'm not going to. 9.3. I think this is the greatest superhero movie of all time. It is one of the best movies of the last 25 years. Just everything comes together. Christopher Nolan is such a fantastic director. He gets absolute quality performances out of everybody that works with him. And it's a 9.3. It is one of the all-time great movies. Not just superhero movies, great movies. There's gripping storytelling, there's suspense, there's drama, there's action, there's almost everything you could want in a movie in a 2.5 hour period. The Dark Knight, 2008, 9.3. That's my review. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Again, this concludes Heath Ledger week. We will cross paths with him again at some point in other movies that he's starred in. But until next time, I'll see you guys at the movies. Take care.